lot of big feels. Oh, that's a lot. I think you're going to be rewarded for being careful, but not like being careful in the way of like sheltering yourself, but like being careful in the way of like thinking before you act and say and do. And I think maybe you put a lot of work towards something and almost to the point of it being monotonous, like something maybe you found pleasure in at the beginning, you know, is starting to get to that point of feeling like, ugh, like is it over? Like something that used to make you incredibly incredibly vibrant, incredibly excited. Like even when things were not obvious and where things were not clear and you didn't have a whole lot of clarity, you still trusted what was in front of you regardless. Like you still trusted the inner guidance, I think, that you were being given, regardless of what the physical looked like on the outside. Something was telling you, like, hold out, hang on, not so fast. Yeah, because I think a lot of the struggle through this process for you, like especially like when it was at its peak hard, it felt really lonely, you know, because when we're working at something, like we have to know that we see it before it even manifests, you know what I'm saying? Like in a real way, like we can't bring something in without kind of being the first one sometimes. Like anyone who's ever done anything important in the world has once been called crazy and been isolated, and you know what I mean, that either drives you to your paranoia and you're the villain now, or it drives you to be the hero, whether it's of your own life or your generation, your whatever. Yeah, but you realize, I think now, that only you can give yourself freedom from any situation. And having that alone is a gift, because there's so many of us out here that walk around feeling like someone else needs to come and tell us we are free, when that is not the case. It's actually we must tell ourselves that we are free. If we do not respect ourselves, how can we expect our surroundings to respect ourselves? Yeah, maybe things haven't, you know, like things haven't changed for a while. Things haven't seemed like they've progressed for a while. And I think you've had to like weave your way in a lot of ways, like through obstacles and through like really pull some fucking shit out of your ass. Like, can't believe I got through that. Can't believe that worked out. Like, but because you're on it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're in a way like having your own back, you know, being your best teammate in a lot of ways. And that's a lot of the work. That's a lot of the most important part of the whole thing. Like, yeah. And I feel like in the past, maybe, or, you know, maybe, and maybe others, right? Like maybe in the past you felt like you had to force this interaction. Maybe you had to force like relationships, you had to force things, you know what I'm saying? You had to, and it didn't bring you a whole lot. Like, you know, forcing people to be in a room with you, or forcing like a narrative or anything that you're forcing is never going to go the way you want it to go. Everything has its own free will. And I don't know about you, but I find it easier to do something for someone when I know it's my choice versus when I'm forced. I feel like down to the molecular level, they understand that too. Nobody wants to be enslaved. Nobody wants to be forced to do things. And now I think you truly understand that to the point of a magnetism about you. There's this level of fertility, and not even just having babies, but like fertility, like everything you touch turns to gold, you know, like, you know, everyone talks about the Midas touch. Like, that does not come easy, you know what I'm saying? That comes with a lot of discipline, yeah, and a lot of shedding the old, and a lot of, you know, new, like, starting over again and again and again until you get it right. Discipline. Yeah, and knowing where to give up when, you know what I mean? Like, knowing where to walk away from, and knowing where to stay. Yeah, I think you're going to be really shocked at the changes that come in. The world that we know it as of right this second when I'm making this video is not going to be the world that our kids, grandkids, no, at all. And I'm not saying that in a fearful way. I'm not saying that to elicit fear. I'm saying that in a way of like, there's enough of us who care down here. And if you want to be a part of the people who care, then by all means start with caring for yourself, because if you care for yourself, you can care for anybody else. You have to put your own mask on first. You have to put your own oxygen mask on first. But it's going to get better. If you're going through a hard time right now, I know you keep hearing it, right? I say it to myself, and even I feel that way. But you already know the new beginning is coming. You can feel it in your bones. You can feel it in your bones. You already know what it's like to receive now. You're not going to force anything, right? So if it's meant for you, it's coming for you. It's on its way. And you're learning. So what the hell? Take your time. Have a peaceful day.